Former TOWIE star James Argent has had an ongoing battle with his weight for the last decade.
He's now just weeks away from having life-saving gastric surgery after his weight reached 27 stone in lockdown. And he joins us now. Well, good morning to you, Arg. This all sounds quite worrying. How are you doing?
Good morning. Yeah, good morning, Piers. Good morning, Susanna. Do you know what? It has been worrying, and it's been difficult, you know, putting on so much weight, and obviously the fact that I've got so big, I kind of suppose it shows that I haven't been in the greatest of places, but I'm sitting here this morning, I'm feeling super positive. The birds are singing in Essex, and I'm outside, I'm up early, I've got life-changing surgery, which is going to be taking place in the near future. It's all booked up, so I really feel like I'm making positive steps, and I can't wait to get back to my very best.
I mean, that's good to hear. I mean, how much do you beat yourself up a bit about what's happened in your life in the last few years?
Do you know what? I have been through an awful lot, and you know, some people go through life quite plain sailing, and other people, you know, other people find life, you know, a bit more difficult and stuff. And I've certainly, you know, gone through it. But I do believe that that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm really excited about, you know, getting my health, you know, because health is first and foremost, the most important thing for me is health, and that's what I'm concentrating on fully
James,
at the moment.
What have the doctors said to you about your weight? Because is it correct that you're currently at 27 stone?
Yes, I'm currently at 27 stone. I've been speaking, you know, especially you know, since I opened up about, you know, how much I weigh recently. I've been speaking regularly to the doctors and nurses at Transform Hospital Group, and, you know, they've been giving me, you know, advice, and they're basically saying, you know, at the size I'm at the moment, it could be fatal. Like, if I was to catch COVID, you know, it could be, you know, I could be a goner. And it's just not just that. My mum and dad, they've had heart problems themselves, so it's kind of in my family, hereditary in my genes and stuff. So I've just got to be, you know, I've got to tackle this now before it's too late.
You are getting gastric sleeve surgery, as I understand it. But just for those people who don't understand the challenge of losing weight yourself, how hard is it to motivate yourself to do it without the surgery? Why have you come up against a brick wall with that?
Well, I've been struggling with my weight since I was a teenager. Since I was young, I always remember, you know, half of the year I could be in good shape, training 3 times a day, but then I'd be starving myself, and the other half of the year I'd be doing no exercise at all, and I'd be binge eating. So throughout, you know, since I was a teenager, the last 15, 16 years, I've always found it impossibly, you know, almost impossible to really have a healthy balance and a happy medium. You know, I'm not saying that I can't lose the weight without this type of surgery, but I've never been able to maintain it before. So I just believe that, you know, going for it this time, I've made a decision. You know, I've spoken to all my friends, family, everyone's had their opinions, and, you know, 9 times out of 10, people are saying to me, you know what, it's not funny anymore, you know, go for it. So that's why I've made the decision. It's not like I've all of a sudden, you know, just put on weight during lockdown and I'm just doing something drastic to get it off. This is something that, you know, I've had this underlying issue in terms of weight and eating disorder since I was a teenager.
You're going to have gastric surgery, which is quite a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a really, really serious operation. At the moment, I haven't decided specifically what one it's going to be. There's options of a sleeve bypass. I need to still kind of do a bit more research, speak to a few more people, but the surgery is going to happen. It's going to happen in the near future, and, you know, I really hope it's going to work for me. It's going to be life-changing, and, you know, I'm inspired by Tyson Fury. You know, he's You know, he's the heavyweight champion of the world. He's had similar problems and demons to me, you know, in terms of drugs, in terms of drink, in terms of weight. He was morbidly obese. And if he can turn it around and come back and, you know, and become a world champion and get his life in order, then, you know, I'm not saying I'm going to go on and become a world champion, but if I can have 10% of the comeback he has, then that would be the dream for me.
I interviewed, as you know, Gemma Collins, your on-off girlfriend, for Life Stories. And she got quite emotional when she talked about you and the struggle you've had and everything. What's going on with you guys now? Because there are rumours you're back together. Is that true?
Yeah. Well, we're not officially back together. I mean, it's almost, you know, it's impossible to be in a relationship with anyone. You know, bearing in mind that I have to, you know, I can't meet anyone outside of my house and stuff like that. But, you know, I suppose on a positive note that she's no longer blocked on my phone. So you know, she's no longer blocked on my phone. So it's, listen, we're friends at the moment and we have been in contact. And, you know, whatever happens between me and Gemma, or, you know, we've been through a hell of a lot together, and you know, we're always going to be. We're always going to be close.
Can you believe everything she tells you? Because she told me in the interview that she'd made a sex tape, and I presume this may have involved you, that she'd made a sex tape that she was planning to hold back and maybe sell one day, like Kim Kardashian. And then the moment the Life Stories aired, about 3 days later, she admitted, or she claimed, she'd made it all up. It was a big fat lie. Well, I presume you might have some inside info here. Was there a sex tape?
Well, I mean, I'm sure. I mean, unfortunately for everyone at home, if she had made a sex tape, it wasn't with me. I'm not too sure how much a sex tape of me and Gemma would go for. I mean, I did watch the I did watch the Life Stories, and yeah, I was a bit you know, I was amused, to say the least, about the sex tape scenario. Maybe I got a little bit jealous, or I might have to ask Gemma to show me. But maybe she had made one, and maybe she got a bit of backlash and she's panicked, and now she's saying it never happened. Who knows with Gemma?
I mean, look, people are paying £50,000 at the moment to listen to Theresa May's speeches on Zoom. So there's a market for anything out there, Arj.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, God.
Well, look, mate, we wish you all the very best. I know your mate, Mark Wright, our mutual friend, has been a great help to you, and he's got his new fitness app out, and he wants to get you back on track. But I guess the first battle is going to be with yourself, isn't it? And let's just go to Hillary before we let this go. Hillary, there'll be a lot of people, maybe not in James's position, quite that extreme, but a lot of people have put on a lot of weight in lockdown.
Yeah.
And the irony is, of course, that obesity is a risk factor when it comes to catching.
That's right.
And he's also asthmatic, so I mean, the added risk as well.
And a vast proportion of our population is overweight. Now, when you're morbidly obese, like Arj, you know, it's a real issue, because there are other health conditions associated with this level of obesity. So heart disease, respiratory problems, diabetes. These are all major problems. And there's no doubt that when bariatric surgery is performed as it should be, in the right people, with the psychological preparation, which is really essential, an essential part of the operation, and that follows it up as well. When it's done well, you can get astonishing results, 50 to 60% of the expected weight loss, and that can endure and be sustained for many, many years, and avoid some of those problems, even reverse type 2 diabetes in some instances. So it's successful, but it is very drastic.
Yeah.
So it's not for everybody. There are millions of people in this country who are eligible because of their weight, but it wouldn't suit everybody. And people have to go into it with their eyes wide open, knowing all about the consequences, because life is not normal afterwards.
But it's interesting what Arj says about the fact that, you know, losing weight in a so-called normal way is not possible, either because, you know, you don't have a routine sort of eating or exercise plan. So how do you make sure that you have that after the surgery? How would you not go back? Does it shrink your stomach so much that you simply wouldn't be able to go back to the way you ate.
Initially, but things can change. People's relationship with food is very complex, and if you've grown up with an addictive personality, which I think Arj would agree has probably been a factor here, it's very difficult to change your relationship to food. You use it as a comfort, you use it as a prop, you use it as a weapon sometimes, all sorts of things. And that's why the psychological counselling that precedes the procedure and follows it is so vital.
Are you getting that, Arj?
Yeah, I'm well prepared. I've got an aftercare plan put in place. I know that, like what's just been discussed, it's almost like you're physically not going to be able to take down the food, but mentally you might want it. So it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of preparation. You know, it's not as straightforward as what everyone thinks. A lot of people think it's the easy way out or a cop out, but it really isn't. It's going to take a lot of work after I've got it done. But you know, I'm super excited for the Lidos to be open again. I can get back into swimming, the boxing. I'm going to be getting into train right. I mean, the operation's going to really help me in terms of portion control, but I still want to be doing lots of, you know, exercise and keeping myself, you know, getting my body shaping in good stead, you know.
Well, good luck with it.
You know what? We wish you luck with it, mate.
Future. I need to get in good.
Yeah.
I need to get in good.
You know what? You're not the only one who's had a long lockdown, I can tell you that. So we wish you all the best with it. Good to talk to you.